In November of 2018, Daniel Cormier beat the UFC's longest reigning heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic. After a fight with WWE and UFC superstar Brock Lesnar fell through, Cormier defended his new belt against Derek Lewis before Stipe was offered the rematch. Stipe weighed in 14 pounds lighter for the rematch, and after losing the first 2 rounds, Miocic took control of the fight, finishing Cormier with some clever body shots in the 4th round. 1 year later, the two men competed in the rubber match to settle the scores. In a good fight where both men had their moments, Stipe took the decision, cementing himself, for now, as the greatest heavyweight the UFC has ever seen. Stipe's next test would come against the scariest puncher in MMA history, Francis Ngannou, who in his last 4 fights had finished his opponents in the first round. After exhausting Francis with his wrestling in the first fight, and winning a dominant decision, many expected the same from the second meeting. However, Ngannou had improved his game, staying more composed and showing skilled defensive wrestling. After rocking Miocic early in the second, Francis put him away with a big right hand. With the scores now tied 1-1, Stipe decided he would step away for a few months and put on the size he lost for his second fight with Daniel Cormier. However, the UFC had different plans. With Jon Jones promised the winner of Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic 2, the UFC eyed a super fight in the heavyweight division between Ngannou and Jones. However, with Jones pricing himself out of the fight and Ngannou refusing to fight anyone else, the UFC took power back into their own hands, offering Derek Lewis and Cyril Gane the chance to compete for an interim title in record time.
Like the video, 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 like the video.
Despite being pretty widely recognized as the greatest heavyweight to ever grace the octagon, one of the oldest divisions with the richest history, Stipe Miocic was denied an instant rematch with Francis Ngannou. It is clear that Miocic hasn't felt supported by the UFC for some time, even opting for his head coach to wrap the UFC belt around the newly crowned champion back in 2016. After being denied a rematch and being blown off for an interim title, Stipe took to Instagram commenting some thinking emojis on a post from one championship asking who they should sign next. This garnered some attention online, with Stipe adding, "I shouldn't have to wait. I have the most heavyweight defenses ever. We are 1-1. Personally, I have to agree with Stipe. Being undervalued multiple times by the UFC over the years, Stipe Miocic has earned everything he's accomplished in the sport. And to be denied a rematch against Ngannou after winning the first fight 50-44, I think we all can't help but feel he's been thrown by the wayside. Every time he's been offered a rematch by the UFC against an opponent he's lost to, he's won, proving he can make the adjustments and he doesn't squander opportunities. In a career that has spanned 11 years with the UFC, Stipe has faced and defeated the best heavyweights on the planet, with wins over Francis Ngannou, Daniel Cormier, Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, Fabricio Verdum, Andrei Arlovski, and Mark Hunt. I think it's only fair that he gets the rematch he deserves, and frankly, the way he's been treated by the UFC is disappointing. It's hard to see how Jones and Stipe fit into this heavyweight picture right now, and perhaps facing each other is the best way to move that division forward. However, both men really should be walking straight into a title fight, so if they decide to wait their turn, I don't have any problem with that. So unfortunately, the UFC have made up their mind and that division is moving fast. Stipe has said his piece, discussing his mistreatment by the UFC on his podcast recently with Jake Paul, saying, "Like you, Dana doesn't like me either." So what's next for that messy division? Either way, I'm pumped for the fight this weekend. I'll have more to say on that closer to the event, so subscribe if you want to follow that. Otherwise, thanks for watching and peace.
Best round so far for Stipe.
For sure, look at that. Moving slick.
Yep. DC knows he's
Those are
right hand up top!
Oh, no.
Cormier in trouble! Oh, DC in a world of trouble! He is down! Oh, that's it! Stipe is come down!
Wow.
Miocic is getting the belt back!
Wow.